Hey guys, it's Rachel, and today I'm going to be doing another character challenge on Jazza's Arty Games app. Not sponsored, by the way. If you guys do not know what this app is, basically it gives you a random thing to draw, and you can choose to have a time limit or not. But today we are going to be doing the character challenge, and we are going to have a time limit of 5 minutes. So let's get right into this. So our first drawing for today is going to be a beautiful lady that is jet-lagged who has little pixie wings. So I'm going to start off by drawing in the head, and I wanted to sort of have a story to this sketch, so I sort of made it that she's a model and she's like at a photo shoot, and that she just got off a plane, so she's jet-lagged and she's at the photo shoot and she's tired. So that's why there'll be cameras eventually. So I wanted to really emphasize that she's jet-lagged, so I had her eyes squinting with her eyebrows down and a sort of half-open mouth, and she's going to be slouching. A lot of the drawings in today's video are going to be slouching just because that's how the character was described. So I had her arms hanging, and that really showed that she was tired. Another thing I tried to do in this drawing was really emphasize that she's at a photo shoot and that she's a beautiful person. So what I did with the hair, at least, is I made it a lot wavier and emphasized it and just changed it from how I would usually draw it. So I made it wavier, poofier, just bigger in general, and I think that really showed that she was at a photo shoot and just made her different from the rest. I would have added like mascara to her or like added some more makeup, but where that usually would happen, at the top of the eye that I usually draw, the eyebrows covered it because she's tired, so I didn't really get to add that in. But instead I added bigger lips and fuller lips, because usually I don't draw lips at all when I draw, but instead I added in lips, and I think that really showed that she was a model. And then I just sort of added in the pixie wings. I didn't really know how to make it more creative or do anything to the pixie wings, so I just sort of added them to the back. Now I'm starting to draw in the background and stuff like that, so I started making the cameras. I didn't really know how to draw these cameras. I didn't really know what angle to put them at, so I sort of just made like a cone and then put a little box around them. If you've ever seen those kind of cameras, they're more so used at photo shoots and like recording videos. And then I added in little lighting sets and added a little backdrop with some shading. And then, like usual, if you've ever seen the last character challenge, which if you haven't seen the last character challenge, I will leave it in the description below and you guys can check it out. But if you have seen the last drawing, I always have too much time on these drawings, so here's the final product. I think this turned out pretty good. I say my favorite part about it is how it really shows that she's tired. So let's get on to the next drawing. Alright, our next drawing for today is going to be a priest who is looking for trouble, who is wearing unnecessarily large sunglasses. So at first I didn't really know what to do with this drawing because I was kind of confused on how to put those three things together. So after a few seconds of thinking, I went with having the priest be like he's robbing something. So I started drawing in a jewel that he'd be stealing, and the jewel looked really weird at first, so I just erased it and started over, and then I got a decent jewel out of it. And now I'm starting to draw in the door that he's going to be looking at, and I sort of have it like he's peeking around the corner, just like he's looking at the diamond, and then having his hands curl around the door. And then soon I start to add in the sunglasses right there. And what I wanted to do with the sunglasses is of course make them really big, but I sort of wanted to make him look as almost like they're like a mask on his face, because like robbers sometimes have masks on their face. So that's what I did with that. And then I made him have a huge grin and add a little sparkle to the corner of his mouth and have his eyebrows really raised like he's greedy and really wants the jewel. And then I added like that like priest tie around their necks. I don't know what it's called, but they like have like a tie of some sort around their neck. And then I just gave him a little bit of hair and colored in his shirt. And then I gave him a little necklace that also helped show that he was a priest. After I finished coloring in his shirt, I start to elaborate on the door and start to make the place look more like it's a bank or some place that would hold the jewel. So I added around the door sort of an iron frame and started to draw in screws to make it look more like a cellar and like a bank almost. And eventually, of course, I have extra time, so I just start to shade in the background around him and add little stripes to the back of the bank because I have way too much time with these drawings. A good minute could be chopped off of these drawings and I'd probably be fine. And then do a little bit of cross hatching around the background. And that's basically about it with this drawing, except I add a few sparkles to the gem just to make it sparkly and make it seem like it's more valuable, and then add a little tablecloth and some lines around the gem to make it seem important. So here's the finished drawing. This is probably my first or second favorite drawing out of all of them. I really like how ironic it is. So let's get on to the third drawing. So our third drawing for today is going to be an old warrior that hates everything that's wearing a cowboy hat. So of course I'm starting with his head and his body. I made him slouched because he is old, of course, and I couldn't really decide where I wanted to put this character at first, so I had him in the middle, and then I moved him to the side, because what I'm going to do with this drawing is sort of make it like a comic book scene. So I'm adding in his finger and his crippled hand, because what he's going to be doing is he's going to be yelling at kids to get off his lawn because he hates everything and he's old and crabby. So now I'm adding in the eyebrows, and they're sort of long and not put together because I want to really show that he doesn't really care about how he looks because he hates everything, and he's old, so of course his hair is going to be long. And then I'm going to give him a long beard and add in his cowboy hat. And I just sort of threw in the cowboy hat. I'm not very good at drawing hats, so that didn't turn out amazing. And then I'm drawing in his other hand, and to also portray that he's old, I gave him a cane, just like that. Make him like an old man that's grumpy all the time. And then here I'm trying to figure out sort of how to show that he was a retired warrior, which it says he's an old warrior, so basically I was trying to make him a retired soldier. So I didn't really know what to do without making him seem like he still was in the war, so instead I just added some camo. It still didn't really go well with the character and didn't really show that much that he's a warrior, but it's the most I could do in the time limit. So then I'm starting to draw on the kids, and I just wanted to make them doing stuff that really portrayed that they were kids. So I had one skateboarding and one's on a scooter with weird eyes and weird hair, just to add a little bit of humor to the drawing. So after I finished drawing in this kid's hair and eyes, I start to draw in the background. And at first I put the old man on a porch just to, add to the old feeling to the drawing. And then I make a bubble and make him saying that he get off my lawn. And after this, I realized I didn't have any grass, so I started adding in grass to go along with the lawn thing. And I realized that technically you cannot skateboard or scooter on grass, but you know what? It's fine. It's just a drawing. So I just add in some hair on the guy, and we're done. So here's the final product. It turned out okay. It's probably my least favorite drawing of all of them, but you know what? That's okay. Let's check out the next drawing. Alright, and our last drawing for today is going to be a lazy superhero that is half made of iron with a peg leg. And at first, I didn't really know what to do with this drawing, but then it clicked in my head, and I'm like, I am going to make this one funny. It turned out sort of funny. In my head it was funny, but my humor isn't really that great, so it's funny in my head. So I start off by drawing this building and this girl falling off like every generic superhero film. And what I'm planning on doing with this drawing is having her say help, and then having the lazy superhero be like, you'll be fine. So I draw in her with the dress and her hair flowing in the wind, and then put in the speech bubble that says help. And now I'm finished with the girl character, so I'm moving on to the superhero. And what I did with this superhero is basically what I did for the third drawing and the first drawing, is I had him slouched and made his eyebrows really low, and to show that he's tired and doesn't care about the girl falling. So I had his mouth sort of hanging open slouchingly, and really showed that he's lazy and just doesn't care if the girl falls. And now I'm putting him on a chair, and why I did this is to also emphasize that he's the slouching thing, because lazy people, or when you want to be lazy, you sit down. So that's why I put him in a chair. And what I wanted to do with this superhero is sort of make him like he's a retired superhero. So that's why he's all slouched, I guess, and that's why he's saying, you'll be fine. And eventually I add in a few things that resemble a superhero, which I just added in the peg leg, by the way, and I'm starting to add in the metal features. And what I did to make it seem like he was a retired superhero is I added in the Superman haircut with the little curl that goes over his face and the flowy hair. But now I'm adding the iron right now, and what I'm doing with his leg is sort of make him like he's a cyborg. So some wires are sticking out, and the wires that are sticking out also help to show that he was retired and that he was old and not really fit for being a superhero. And then I add in the speech bubble and add a little dripping effect to it, and I think it turned out pretty good. So here's the final product. This is definitely my favorite drawing out of the 4. And here is a final look at all 4 drawings today. So overall, I think these characters turned out really well. And if you guys want to see more of this character challenge, make sure to leave a like down below. Make sure to leave a comment down below too, letting me know what character today I drew that you like best. And make sure to subscribe for more awesome weekly videos, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.